Hey, so here it is, as promised when we hit 100 subs, the voice reveal. And thank you all so much for the support. This has been a lot of fun. I really hope I can keep doing this. So, for the build, No Look Zane uses the Terra anointments from the Bloody Harvest event, which is now always available, combined with Zane's skills, which increases gun damage with his movement speed. By firing your launcher and then swapping to the Guardian Angel shotgun with the Terra Cryo 75% anoint while you're sliding away, you can dramatically increase your damage. First with the extra movement speed, and secondly with the Guardian Angel adding up to 500% more damage based on how far away from the enemy you are. And that cryo damage on the Angel will also apply to your launcher shots when you swap. You get lots of great freezing that way. The build focuses on the Hive launcher as it tracks enemies for you, and it recently got a buff. So with this build, Zane's clone can use whichever launcher that you're using, although the clone's not really immune to launcher damage, so a Sandhawk sniper rifle is always a top tier choice. Outside of launchers, this build also uses the Soul Render Assault Rifle, the Shocker, and the Critical Thug. The Thug, normally ignored, it's actually pretty great for mobbing when you're using the Eraser skill, but not really much else. I've also included a Goldrush just for fun, as it's new, and I found that it can work pretty well with this build, but it's not really the main focus, just kind of something to mess around with that's fun. But, in fact, any weapon that can Eraser on a critical hit will do quite well with this build. We are using a level 1 Revolter shield with action skill and apply Terra to maximize how often the Revolter can break and trigger even more damage for you, and also give you easy access to Terra every time you fire your Mantis Cannon. Having a level 72 Revolter with the action skill start anoint is also a good choice, but it will make it harder for you to get your Terra. You can use any grenade, but I've chosen the Pyro Burst to show off how crazy the explosions from it can get if you use increased splash radius. They kind of look like an Eraser explosions going off, but it's not happening. But, you know, it looks really neat. And the increased damage and fire rate with Terra Anoint on this grenade is pretty important, as it adds a lot of fire rate to your slower firing launchers. Any grenade can get that, but again, I just wanted to show off the Pyro Burst as it's new and it's a lot of fun. Now, the class mod of choice for this build is the Antifreeze, as it lets you keep your movement speed no matter what, even when you get cryoed. And it adds 40% more damage in synergy with your speed skills while you're sliding, so again just stacking more and more damage onto those launcher shots. The Hustler class mod can work well for Eraser kills, and the Seeing Dead mod is always a great choice as an all-arounder if you just don't like using the launchers as much, but we're kind of trying to focus on getting those huge hits with the launchers here. So for the artifact we're going to go with the Toboggan, and that's for the additional movement speed that it gives you on slide, and the amp shield that it also gives you when you slide, so you can stack even more damage onto your launcher shots again. And having a cut purse launch pad in your backpack will allow you to swap over and then just do a slam to refill your ammo at any time if you find yourself running low on launcher ammo. For action skills, we're focusing on the Clone and the Mantis Cannon. The Mantis Cannon can help keep your Terror up, as it triggers the action skill end every time you fire it. It's also great for stacking the Art of War skill. You'll also want to swap your weapons fairly often while you're stacking your Art of War to trigger the blue skill tree skill, Cold Bore, and this will really help you maximize the damage on that one launcher shot. For augments, we're using Brain Drain and Proliferation to max out how many times you can fire your cannon. The Clone will provide you with a lot of extra damage, and a way to teleport out of trouble if you slide off of a cliff by accident. With all the extra movement speed, it can get pretty crazy, and sometimes you just go ripping off the end of a cliff, and it's nice to be able to hop back up top real quick without dying, especially during takedowns. Now, remember to swap places with your clone often as well, because you can stack the damage buff that you receive from doing this, and it will add stacks onto the Art of War. For augments, we're using Schadenfreude to give the Revolter more chances to break, and Which One's Real to keep the aggro on the real Zane down. So, thanks for checking out my latest build, and enjoy the rest of the video. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to do more of these for you. I've been having tons of fun.